Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, everywhere. There's going to be a live clip of this going. We are kicking it off a little bit late today. Had to take care of some animals this morning. They were being a little bit unruly. So I apologize, and we did oversleep just a hair. We were out way late last night. Went to a Great White concert. Once bitten, twice shy, baby. All right. But good stuff. Uh, Great White killed it last night at the casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Also, the kickoff of Still Horse Rally. And good morning, Casey. Oh, we're here. We had our doubts for a moment. But we appreciate it for the likes, the shares, and the follows. Much appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, and follow when you do get here. Again, I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at the cover that's happening now. Bum, bum, bum. Right there. There you go. I can't tell you a whole lot about it other than there's pirates and creatures and nuclear disasters and all kinds of different things happening in the book. Um, all right. Got some new stuff in to talk about as well. We'll get into all of that in just a moment. But again, welcome to the show, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. How is everybody doing out there? It's been a wild couple days. Let me tell you, wild couple days. Ever since the military reunion, I've been processing a lot of information, which has caused some stress here amongst the home, and it doesn't, always help situations whenever you don't talk about things. That's where we have communication from the last time. I was not communicating what was happening, and so stressors were happening, is what was happening. But we got those talked out yesterday because there was noticeable changes happening, and that's my fault. Again, I was not communicating like I was telling everybody else to do. Take your own advice, dumbass. And it's like, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? Yes, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne back there. My paintings. The top one is a print of my painting. The bottom one is the original. I do have both of those available. So there you go. But thank you for that burger, the burger. And we had a burger last night from IHOP. Roy was with us, so I don't know if he's going to be on this morning as well. But it was a great concert. They do have a new front man, lead singer, that's been with the band for about 3 years or so. But he sounds really good. Um, Brings a lot of energy to the band. Great White, as you know, is an older band, an older hair band, around the same era as Cinderella, Rat, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Motley Crue. Yes, Venom. I do have a Venom back here. We talked about him in one of the last shows too. This is a remark right here, Kevin. Dun, dun, dun. I do have a painting as well that glows under black light. All available. Hopefully we don't get a strike already. Being only 5 minutes in or so. All right. So the other day we did do some antique shopping and things. Is this love that I'm feeling? Um, that's White Snake. Is this love that I'm feeling? that's Whitesnake, different band, but right era, and they actually went over an hour, so I was kind of surprised. They uh, they did quite a few songs. I have most of them recorded. I've got a lot of pictures. I've got to upload and dump to the Facebook and over here. But we'll be doing that later today. Didn't get a chance to do it last night because, like I said, we didn't get home until after 11 o'clock last night, and that was including going out to eat as well right after the show. Steel Horse Rally was still going on whenever we left Roland, Oklahoma last night from the casino where the band performed a free concert, so that was a plus. Tonight we go see Wilco. If you don't know who they are, you're just gonna have to go look them up because I can't explain their style of music. It's something the girlfriend likes, and we're gonna go check them out up in Northwest Arkansas tonight. So that'll be fun and exciting. Let's see here. All right, lots of artwork still going on. I'm getting ready to do a long piece, which is 24 inches, 2 feet of painting, for basically John Wayne from Chisholm, the opening scene where he's underneath the tree with the sunrise coming behind him, that orangish colored sky, and oranges and purples and all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing that painting. Still working on the book cover painting. I got to get it done this month so he can get it on the book cover because his next book is coming out this month on the 16th. We also have a book signing later in the afternoon. I believe it is 2 to 4 as well at the library there in Ozark, Arkansas later on. So look forward to that as well. And let's see here. That's about it. I mean, we just got artwork happening on a regular basis, meeting new people here that are getting interested in the artwork and all of that good stuff. So we look forward to you guys getting artwork in your hands. All right. Picked up some new comic book boxes. Be putting those together, the shorter boxes. I'm going to be start separating out my long boxes. Yep. I'm going to be talking about the antique trip here in just a second. And I'm going to start separating out my comics into the smaller boxes. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for being here and talking about that because allergies happen, and it's a fact of life. So there you go. Um, we did pick up quite a few cool items, and I'm big into creepier clowns on a regular basis, and that is just part of life because I'm hoping that I pick up some haunted ones on occasion. Regular things like that. And I do have a few haunted items which are sitting up here on the shelf up here. And we did pick up a new one, and I'm not saying he's haunted, but he is a little on the different side. He is, I can't remember the exact name of him, but he is a three-headed clown. And right here, this is him. Gotta take that off of him. Right there. Do it. There we go. And why they call it a three-headed clown is because once you move him around on the back of his feet, right there, he's got two more heads. These are all hand painted, so they're all different. They do. This is a style. I can't remember the exact style right off the top of my head. But he's going to go with the rest of our clown collection that we have in the library on the shelf. Or maybe he'll go up here. We'll see. We're not 100% sure yet where he's going to go yet. I also found a couple of bookies at Goodwill, and for the price, I couldn't pass them up because, like, this one from 1968 for $2. Boom, boom, boom. It is not in the best of shape, but it's in decent shape. It is The Making of Star Trek, 1968. Boom, boom, boom. And it does have pictures for those of you that want to come on my show and try to disrupt, you know, by saying stupid shit. But I do have pictures on the inside giving dimensions of certain things that the doctors use, like and all the tricorders and phasers and all that good stuff. It does have little rulers in there with them. But it's got several pages like that. Plus, it gives you the Klingon ships and the ships of of the USS Enterprise and stuff like that, and then behind the scenes looks of all of that good stuff. So there you go. Again, a book from 1968 that still looks that good. Come on. It does have its flaws, like I said. That little corner down there, it does have a little, you know, little spots here and there. But who wouldn't after 1968? So there's that one. And then let's go a little bit farther back, shall we? Just a hair farther back to 1892. Lincoln and Men of War Times. Right here. Still in gray shape. And $3 for an 1892 book. I am peeling that sticker off now. It does not adhere to the book in any way, form, fashion, or another. But again, great, great book. Still has semi-white pages. They're off-white pages. Does have pictures on the inside for those of you that are disruptors and all that good stuff, and like to come over here and be like, "Oh, you're an idiot because you don't do you do that thing with your nose on occasion." Yeah, I do that through my show on occasion. Not all the time, but it does happen. But there you go, Lincoln and Men of War Times, right there. Bum, bum, bum. Then picked up some shark house slippers for the girlfriend. Can't go wrong with some house shark slippers. House slippers. They are by Crayon Friends. Right there. Crayon. And they were, of course, the more expensive item. The more expensive item. Get you some rubberized shark shoes. Bum 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 for $5. Still cheaper than what you would have bought them for had you bought them brand new. You know. Then the coup de grace that goes for about $70 or so is the good old Atari 2600. I don't know if it works yet or not. Got it for $20, and it sells for $70. This is the Darth Vader version, is what they call it, just because of the style that it looks like and things like that. And we were at another antique store later on. Atari 2600 originality, right there, and got me a cartridge for it. You got to go to these cartridges, and then you stick it in the little slot here, and it's got one cable that goes to your TV, and looky there, it fits. So I decided to pick up the basketball game, since it is basketball season right now, and see if it works. So we'll be seeing if that works later on. But like I said, that's our little bit of a haul from the Antiquester this time. from the antique store this time. You know what? I just realized I'm not complete yet. All right, now I can hear myself. Okay. So right here, that's the new comic boxes that are going to be broken down. They're the short boxes. I'm going to try the short box style, and it did come with dividers so that I can start labeling all of my stuff instead of having the cardboard in between each one. Um, I will definitely have to get more of those dividers because I do not have enough. 25 is just not enough. Oh, there we go. There's our live visibility restriction because we were talking about things outside of TikTok Shop that they don't sell. And now we are under restriction, which we're going to go ahead and appeal because we do not talk about that stuff. We did not direct anybody anywhere. You, TikTok, and your AI are special cases. But V8 Energy, really, come be my sponsor. That would be awesome. Um, so that was our big haul before going to the concerts this past weekend so far. And it's always fun just to go and just get away and do stuff. Just like I said, tonight we're going to be going to the Wilco concert. Later on, I have the tickets on the phone, ready to rock and roll and go. Now, again, if you don't know who Wilco is, go check them out via any streaming service for music, Apple Music, uh, Spotify, whatever you get your music from. Go out there and listen. I'm sure you can find them on social media as well. Wilco, Wilco, and but it's just a busy time of life, and it's you're trying to jam pack so much stuff because working on the garden, the animals, life in general. We're working on a lawnmower for a friend. We just picked it up for free. We're trying to get it going. We've got the parts that are coming in today and Monday to hopefully get it kicked over. Um, so we're looking to get that going because he's in the state where he shouldn't be using a push mower because of his feet and legs and things like that. So we're trying to make life a little easier for him, and so those type of situations. And if Roy was here, he'd be blasting everybody. Oh, my Lakers won! My Lakers won! Yay! 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 Woo! Big whoop! Big whoop! It's the Lakers. Nobody really gives a rat's ass about the Lakers. And they will be playing Oklahoma City Thunder, and they are going to get their butts handed to them the rest of the series, just like they did in their uh, meetings during the regular season, where just in 2 games there was a deficit of nearly 80 points because we were scoring like 140 points and they were scoring like 90, 98 points. And that's Oklahoma City Thunder is going to kick their ass in the season. Uh, Going on to the championship. The first two to clinch in their divisions was the Spurs and Oklahoma. Oklahoma City was first, and then Spurs clinched second. So both of those are moving on. Now we know that the Los Angeles are going to be facing Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not sure who the Spurs are facing or anybody else. Really don't care. It's Oklahoma City Thunder all the way. To back-to-back championships. There you go. So, but we do have lots of stuff, different things to do and talk about. But I am, like I said, I am into the creepy clown stuff. The creepier, the better. Uh, we're always finding semblances of clowns out there. Let me just put it that way. And they're just too cute, you know. They don't have that. It's gonna follow you around if it were to jump off the shelf look, if that makes any sense. And not Art the Clown vibes or anything like that, because he's really not creepy in my opinion, but people think he is. Um, but to me, the creepier the better, and I should be pulling some of those off the shelf just to show you what I mean. Um, you're always hoping, because I've got a couple of musical ones and I've got one that lights up and things like that. You're always hoping that you catch them moving in your video cameras. Because throughout my house, I have video cameras set up just because, animal reasons. And, out here in the sticks, you don't want somebody, just popping out of nowhere either. And so you always want to be aware of your surroundings. And that's how it goes. We love that fact that we have the opportunity to check on the animals when we're not in the house. Um, Now, not every room has a camera on it, obviously, that you know of. So be very aware when you come to my house. You're on candid camera. And I don't have signs posted. If you just look at the house, you will see the video feed monitors running around the house. I do have to replace a few because they're just getting grainy and it's not very pleasant to look at. So, but they are an old system, and it is time to update the system one of these days. But I've got to take care of a septic tank clean out, and that shit ain't cheap, literally. That shit ain't cheap. On a previous note, we did pick up some. I'm not sure what the hell they're called. Shop something or other. Hold on, give me a second. I can't tell you what they're called, but they are basically pixies that go right up the alley of stuff that I'm working on for my comic book. But these are them, kind of like Venus here in the clamshell. If you know, you know. But these are pretty popular little figurines as well, right there. And they had several of those. They had two space ones as well. Probably should have picked those up too because they had them for like $4 a piece. So we picked up a few of them, and the girlfriend actually bought these two right here. So that's something we bought not quite a while back, but a few trips back when we were at the antique store. Well, at Savers. It's called Savers here in Fort Smith, but we have a bunch of antique stores as well. We drove over to Alma where we found those other items, and not the Atari. The Atari was found at Savers as well. We get quite a few good finds at Savers. I can't lie, because that's a place where people donate all the stuff that they're just trying to get rid of, and sometimes some good things pop up, like PlayStations and Xboxes and things of that nature, and you can get them for like $10 a shot. The Atari 2600 we did get for $20, but whenever it's going for 60 to $80 a shot, um, you can't pass up $20. 20 bucks is $20. So there you go. There you go. What is going on in your guys' lives right now? What is happening? What is happening, my friends? You should be getting your new shirt in soon. I did go back and double check to make sure it was a medium. Um, and that's you, Casey. Getting ready to order a couple new shirts as well. Request was put in for some new shirts. So there you go. Our appeal was not approved, as I knew it wouldn't be. But our appeal never gets approved whenever they put a restriction on me for trying to send people outside of the TikTok shop to buy stuff because TikTok shop sells everything. No, you don't. You don't sell my artwork, and you never will. Unless somebody steals my designs and then sells them through your shop. That's the only way TikTok will have my shit to sell. Speaking of which, I have two different cameras in this room. Switching gears. I got one over here, one in the back, and they cover both sections of the room. So in case any orbs or anything like that decide they want to fly through, they are captured on camera for eternity. Not really, but for a limited time, they'll be on video. So, let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, yes. One more item. Sorry. We were looking at their. They always have artwork and wall decor and things like that as well. And we started looking over a piece. It was just like, this is an original piece, and it's a very well done original piece. And then come to find out, this is a well known artist here in the local area that has done big paintings and different things for the libraries, for the police department, just all over the place. Figured out he's 79 years old as well, and a phenomenal artist, Jim Horn. This one was done back in 2020, I believe. Yes, 7:30 of 20. Yes, this is on a cabinet door. I'll get it flipped around here in a second. We got it for $8 whole, and I know that's not what this was sold for, but we got it for $8 whole. Right there. There's the proof. Yeah, there's the proof. And it was done on a cabinet door, but very, very talented old guy. Um, Great use of color, and what I love is that you can see the pencil marks where he laid down his pencil and then painted everything. So I always love to see that because it's almost like, I'm not sure if this is a watercolor board or what he painted on, or maybe it's just the board itself right here that was part of a cabinet piece, because he's got it stapled in here. So I'm assuming that this is his canvas right here. But but there you go, right there, an original Jim Horn. You can see the pencil marks in her fingers, in her face, up on her nose, and things like that. Get it really close, right there, and you can see the pencil marks, maybe. But very, very well done. Phenomenal looking piece, and very, very well use of color in here. Now I don't know who his subject is that he painted from, because we all use a reference to do paintings from for people. But again, all hand done as far as the frame goes. Again, old cabinet door, and you can see the paint dripping and on the edges, which gives it more character as well. But phenomenal talent for, you know, being 79. And how did we figure that out? Because he did an art showing at a library in Fort Smith at some point in time. I think it was 2019, maybe. 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. But he was 73 at that point in time. So whatever that is from this year to when that happened, it was 6 years. So, um, so yeah, I can't remember which date it was on that article for him. But Jim Horn, local talented artist here. Can't find much more about him. I can't find anything, any contact information. I can only find stuff that he has done for the city, for libraries and things like that. So I can't give you a price point on what he sells his stuff for. So, very elusive artist, if you will. Again, nearly 80 years old and doing stuff like that. Very phenomenal stuff. Yes, we are at 11.3 thousand likes, even with my nose snort. um, and so I appreciate that. It is great to have that likes going on. The hearts are still flowing and going. And that puts us in the popular live category. So I appreciate you all being here. I don't even know who's here. Um, just because now that we have a restriction again, thanks to AI saying I was deliberately taking and telling you guys to go outside of TikTok shop to purchase my merchandise, which I am right now because why not? I'm under restriction, right? And never once did I redirect or try to redirect anybody to go anywhere to buy anything. I was just showing you stuff. And again, TikTok, you are not the end all be all of the shopping world. You do not have everything everyone is looking for. So you can go fuck yourself. And hopefully you do it with some megabytes up in there. Um, Megabytes, terabytes, gigabytes, all that good stuff. Take it, shove it with your AI algorithm. I feel better. Like I said, today we're going to be working on more artwork, putting that 2 foot piece together, um, and then going from there because that's going to be fun. That's going to be cool because it's going to have yes, megabyte. What was the very first? There was something before megabytes. Oh, one of the nice things about walking through Savers as well is people dump their old shit, and I'm talking about their old shit. We found floppy drives in there. We found zip drives. If you remember the 100 megabyte zip drives, they were just hard plastic floppy disks. We have found beta recorders, uh, movie recorders, kind of like cameras, but they just record on beta tapes. Um, you can find a plethora of cool stuff if you just go out and look. If you get outside of your comfort zone and decide you want to go into a store like Savers, you can find some cool finds. And if you like some vintage clothing, you can find that too. Because yeah, there are clothing from like the 1970s and 80s and things like that, and it's just like holy shit. I'm glad that style isn't back. Even though some people try to bring it back, you know. Um, the only thing I hate about casinos, let's talk about that while we were at the concert, is the smoke. The smoke is a killer because I wish they would just eliminate smoking altogether at casinos. I do know they have non-smoking sections in casinos. And well, why weren't you there? Because the concert spot is not in the non-smoking section, and so it sucks because you're sniffing all the different smokes that everybody's packing. Um, Now I didn't smell any of the wacky stuff, the wacky tobacco. So that was a plus this time. But there was a lot of cigarettes being smoked right there in the casino, and I just hate that, because you walk in and the first thing you're greeted with is cigarette smoke. You know, it's just like get a hobby. You know, cut the smoking and do something with your life. Just like my buddy Maze, who quit smoking. I think he said 6 weeks or so ago as of reunion time, and he said he's feeling better, but he's still getting all that crap off of his lungs, as you can hear him, coughing up a lung, trying to get that phlegm and crap and all that built up of from basically 12 years old to 60 something years old worth of smoking in his lungs. Um, getting that out of his system. I get that. You need to quit. It'll make you feel better. I I don't know because there's mixed reviews with it all because like those old guys that you see from the wars and stuff like that that get interviewed, they're sitting there with their cigar and their alcohol, and then this is how I've survived to be 102 years old, So it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. To each their own. I like the smell of cigar smoke and pipe tobacco, but I just don't like to do it. But cigarette smoke is just a whole different animal. And whenever that's the first thing you smell whenever you walk into a place, it's just like, it's a turn off. Yeah, you get used to it after a while. And that's why I'm a little bit more congested today than I was yesterday, and I was, or even the day before. Uh, well, get you some better ventilation. Get you a big old chicken fan and put it in the window. And if you've ever seen a chicken fan, that'll take the smoke out in a heartbeat, or even an attic fan. I wish I could get the attic fan that was at my other house. I would have that sucker in a heartbeat. Um, but no, chicken fans are about yay tall. This is from the ground, and they're about yay wide. So what is that? About 4 foot wide. About 4 foot tall by 4 foot wide. So that would take the smoke out really fast. Sometimes you can find those relatively cheap. I got to put exhaust fans out there in the coops as well. Uh, all that good stuff. Just because you want to ventilate. You want to ventilate goodly. Goodly ventilate your places. Yes, yes. Bum. I watched a newer movie, Into the Dark 2, or Into the Darkness, or something like that. That was decent. Wasn't horrible. Horror movie, of course. Been watching a lot of older horror movies as well. Like I said, Frogs, one of the last ones. A lot of 1970s horror that I've been watching. It's quite humorous to see. The Being was one of them that I just watched. I'd seen it before, and threw it on again just for background noise and to watch here and there. It's along the same lines as The Thing, if you will. Same era esque movies. Um, but all the actors that you see they're old now. Like I said, Sam Elliott was old in that movie, but he was young at the same time. I was 1 years old and he was 70. Without his mustache and white hair. Um, Sam Elliott's a freaking living vampire. Speaking of living vampires, we have one running for mayor of Fort Smith right now, Shane McKinney. As of last night, he needed 1,000 signatures to be put on the ballot to run for mayor of Fort Smith, and he is a proclaimed vampire. So, yes, he got a signature from me. If the girlfriend was a voting registered voter, she would have voted or she would have signed the petition as well. But since she's not a registered voter, she cannot sign those type of petitions. And there's that snort for you, buddy. And I do apologize for my allergist stuff going on. Even blowing your nose doesn't help. And I have the Tweety paper right here that's softer than most Kleenexes. Oh, oh. And he is trying to get a lot of change happening. He only wants to do this one term. He is a landlord. He is a house flipper. He does a lot of stuff in the community. His wife is a realtor as well, and they do themed houses. They do some Airbnb type stuff, and they do some themed houses, like this house that he's got out on the Country S setting. He is going to do a Tim Burton theme to it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like Beetlejuice, if I had to guess. And so there is that. But he's doing a lot of different things, and we saw him when we were coming back from somewhere. Oh, we had come back. We were coming back from eating, and he was on the corner trying to get signatures. And we honked at him, and he was like, "Come sign." We're like, "We're heading that way." And so uh, we got over there to his campaign team and signed their petition to get him on the mayoral ballot, as well as a lot of other people. Because, like I said, he only needed 1,000 signatures whenever we were talking to him, and I'm pretty sure he probably ended up getting that last night or this weekend is going to happen at the Steel Horse Rally. And if you don't know what the Steel Horse Rally is, it's a big motorcycle event here in Fort Smith. It's like bikes, blues, and barbecue up in Fayetteville on Dixon Street. This takes place downtown Fort Smith on Garrison Avenue. They block off the entire street of Garrison, and motorcycles rev up and down it. They do bike rides all day long, uh, showcasing their bikes. They have a ton of them sitting in the middle or on the edge. They had their biggest draw last year, so that was a plus for that. Not as big as Sturgis, obviously, never will be, and not as rambunctious and dangerous as Sturgis, if you will. You do get your drunken fools walking up and down the street, but you also have a lot of police presence as well. Uh, they have a ton of police presence there downtown during the event. So there you go. You can come enjoy a relaxing tableside and watch the motorcycles rev up and down the street. It is a cool sound to hear all the different motorcycle sounds from Harleys to crotch rockets to custom rat bikes, custom bikes in general. Pretty soon, one of these days, we'll have our own bikes to rev up and down the street too. Uh, like I said, we still have to rip my carburetor apart, get it sealed because it's leaking gas. And you don't want that when you're riding. Heat, spark, all that good stuff on your on your motorcycle. No, you don't want that. And then we got to get hers up and running. So there you go. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here because we are under restriction and no one's gonna find us right now. That's what happens when you get a restriction. They don't send you out into the masses like they did whenever you first started. But it didn't. But it took us a little bit longer. It was almost 30 minutes into the show before we got a restriction. So that's good. That's good. That's a plus. Yes, that's a plus. But lots of artwork is happening, and I'm enjoying it. I'm also enjoying, in a sense, not going to comic book conventions. Yes, they're great for exposure. Yes, they're great for some revenue. Yes, they're great for those different types of things and interacting with other artists and meeting new people and meeting new artists and things like that. But it's also very stressful, or can be, because like when you're on the road, you're always thinking about everything. Did I grab this? Did I pack this? Is this in the box? Did we do this? Did we do that? Are we sure our reservations are good? Did we? The list goes on and on, and so you're having a mental attack on yourself because you want to make sure that everything is there that you need, so that you don't have to buy a damn thing whenever you get to your final destination for the show. And sometimes, not sure what that is. It's really bright. And so it can be very stressful to go to a comic book convention. Um, and it's just like, well, why put that extra stress on yourself when you're still making, you know, a decent living off of what you're doing right here. You're still getting your artwork out there to the masses. People are still buying. People are still this. People are still that. Yeah, it's not as much as, you would like to see. Because you would like to see, 10, 15 pieces move at a time. That being either prints in the 11 by 17 form or the 16 by 20 canvases, you know, which are a fraction of the cost of the original. Um, and so it's like, do I want to go back? And I'll let you know because I don't even know right now. It's not that I don't want to go back. It's just why add all that extra added expense and all the extra added stressors to life? Because if she goes with me, she's got to take off, whatever day it is. Because say if it's a Friday to Saturday show, she's got to take off no days there, but she'd want to take off the back end. So she would take off Sunday, Monday potentially, um, which means she's dipping into her own, vacation time. And just to be there with me. Or if she doesn't go, that's all the added on me to do it all myself, which isn't a big deal because it's not the first time I've ever done that. But it's just like I hear a motorcycle right now heading to the show. Um, it's like why have all that added extra stress on your life if it doesn't bring you as much revenue? Again, like I said, in 2024, whenever I was doing the shows, the very first few shows were great. I made profit real easy because, like, right then and there, the very first show, Jonesboro, um, Heroes, whatever it was called, was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed one. And I sold 5 originals, which is unheard of at a comic book convention. That was my best show, period, hands down. And then the next show was decent. And then the next 3 shows, I barely broke even. And that was one of them was a horror. Well, 2 of them were horror shows. One was in Bastrop, Texas. One was in Paragould, Arkansas, and I can't remember what the other one or where the other one was right off the top of my head. And then the rest of the shows, I broke even or made a little bit of a profit. Well, I made more of a profit on the last shows. And one of them was just in a comic book store, so that one was a, you know, easy setup and sell. So obviously I'm making profit because everything was paid for, the hotel room was paid for, food was paid for, things like that. So I wasn't really out any money for that show. And that's when I put my reveal to Brandon Jones there, the owner of Bonesy Jonesies there in Jonesboro, Arkansas. That hey, the name's changing. This is what we're going to be, so on and so forth. And then when 2025 rolled around, everything changed. Went to the 412 Productions, and things started picking up. Well, things have gone stagnant again. They're slow. I'm not going to say they're they're like dormant, but they are slower. You know, and but that's okay because I've got a lot of home stuff to take care of as well. When you own a home and a homestead, what is that? What is all this? Whenever you own a homestead and you're an artist and you're a disabled veteran and you're home all the time, you have to take care of everything. Um, and it's like, I am going to blow my nose. Hold on just a second. Hell. So it's like when you're taking care of everything and you're home basically 24/7. I mean, I get out and do stuff on occasion when I want to, but now that gas prices have spiked up tremendously, why get out and do stuff, right? This is the time of year that I need to start planning for winter time already, meaning that I need to be getting firewood. I need to be getting this. I need to be finding this. I need to be shoring up the chicken coop even more. So here's the thing with that is I've got a bird's nest in my chicken coop right now. A bird has deemed it okay to live in my chicken coop. She built a nest in a safe space that nobody can get to her, cats or raccoons, those type of things. Which is cool. The baby birds have hatched. I think she's got 4 or 5 in the nest. And they're huge baby birds. I'm surprised they're all sitting in the nest, to be honest. 22.3 thousand likes. Yes, sir. We are tracking. Um, and so, oh, woodpeckers all over the place. We have the larger ones, and we have some smaller ones. We've got two different kinds of smaller ones, and then with the bigger one, I can't remember what they're called, but he's literally about yay tall, and the other ones are about this big. So you got one that's this big, and one and some that are this big. But we have three different kinds that are around here. You can see all their pecking around the trees, getting in there and getting the bugs and stuff like that. You hear them all the time when you're out back. You can just hear them. Dum, 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 dum. It's kind of cool that their tongue wraps around their brains whenever they do the pecking to keep them from getting brain damage from that. That was a fact I picked up a few years ago, that the woodpecker wraps its tongue around its brain to keep it from vibrating inside of its skull. That's a weird fact. So you are up north, and it's 32 degrees there. Uh, yeah, for you guys, it's not full spring. Here, it's full spring. Where daytime temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, and sometimes the 90s. Right now, it's 47 degrees. These are our cooler nights right now. This is the cool. Normally where we're getting the last hard frost already. This is our last hard frost, if you will, at 47 degrees. So not the 30s that you're in, but we're close. You can see your breath outside. And so there you have it. But yeah, we have all kinds of birds here, from cardinals to robins to sparrows to this. It's a scissor tail, or not a scissor tail. It's a flycatcher of some sort, but it's a smaller flycatcher. It doesn't have the long scissor tail like you see the scissor tail flycatchers in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma native bird. Again, lots of blue jays, finches, orioles fly through here as well. We've had that happen. Put out orange peels and oranges for them because they will stick around longer if you have that out. And we had a whole flock of orioles come through one year. I haven't seen them since, but there that was pretty cool to see. Mockingbirds, um, hawks, doves, buzzards, vultures, you name it, we've got it. I saw somebody talking about a cardinal. I was like, only in a Georgia bird, and I'm like, no, I see them in Oklahoma and Arkansas all the time. As they're not just you know planted in one area. Now there are certain birds that don't venture outside of a certain location. Um, but for the most part, you're gonna find all kinds of different birds all over the place. Of course, your ducks, your different ducks and geese and things like that. Your Canadians and whatever other kind of geese there are. Don't ask me right off the top of my head. We've got some straight run in the backyard. You know, we've got our three. So white cardinals here in the north. That's awesome. That's cool. I'm trying to think if I've seen a white cardinal before, but I don't think I have, or at least not with my own two, but not with these peepers right here. I've seen them in pictures, in picture form, and things like that from where people have taken pictures of them and stuff like that. Wildlife, we have everything here in Arkansas and Oklahoma, um, and it's just like, well, I've never seen that here before. It's just like they're here. Trust me, Bigfoot's here too. You haven't seen him, but he's watching you. Um, and so several colored ones here in great numbers. Yeah, we've got the male, the female. You know, the male's the brightly colored red one, and then the female's the dingy looking thing with the muted red wings and the gray body. Um, Frank, what we had dubbed the little baby uh, uh, blue jay, is with a rehabber that is licensed to handle them because we just found out that they are an endangered bird. Um, so he is with a rehabber that is licensed for that type of thing. So we got him to them. So that is a plus. Um, and we did not know that they were an endangered bird, but they are with a licensed professional that can handle that. So there you go. Um, and that's the thing. Whenever you get rescues, there's certain animals that you have to get to a rehabber because if it's an endangered bird like a hawk or an eagle or something like that, you have to get them to a rehabber. You can't just hold on to them. A rehabber that is licensed to be able to do that, and you know, and that's what we like to do is find a rehabber that has the licenses. And it took us a hot minute to get one, um, and we did find one, and we got to them like a day, you know. So it's not like we were like, "Ooh, we're gonna keep this bird." No, that was not the case. We weren't going to keep it anyway. We were if we couldn't find anybody, we were going to rehab it to the point where we could let it go into the wild because we don't need a bird. Trust me. Not with the cats. I mean, the chickens are good enough, but being when they're small and they get out of the cage, like the little duckling that got into one of our cat's mouths and is still alive, luckily, because it didn't hurt it. It was just carrying it around, trying to figure out where it could go eat it at. The little duckling, the little escape artist Houdini. That's what I dubbed it. I don't know if it's a male or female. They're not growing very fast. That's the thing. Our other duck is practically full grown, but he doesn't have his feathers in yet. Once he gets his feathers in, he's going to get kicked out with everybody else. So all of our littles that are outside right now are probably hating life because it is 47 degrees, and they're like, "Damn it, man, it's cold out here." But they are practically ready to get introduced to the rest of the flock. Um, but we have one that's still only like this big. He hasn't grown much either. So we're pretty sure he's probably going to be a bantam. Bantams don't get very big in the chicken world at all. They're about half the size of your regular chickens. We have two of those. We did have five of those, and but three of them turned into roosters, I believe. And so we kept no four. No, four of them turned into roosters. We kept one of the roosters, named him Chester, and I can't go into that story here on live. Um, if you want to know why we call him Chester, you can hit me up in message form. And so So we kept one of the gray bantams from that group. Well, we kept the female, and then we got rid of the other 3 that were turned into roosters as well as Chester. So now we probably have another couple of roosters in our hen house with the new batch. We still have 2 broody chickens, so they are sitting on a slew of eggs right now. Bum, bum, bum. So our egg production is going down because we're getting chickens. We're actually getting baby chicks, you know. Went out to the coop the other day, found another baby sitting under the wing of the mama. Not its mama, but it's the one that hatched it. So got it inside and put with the other little yellow. So he's about this big. The little yellow's about this big. So, you know, they're almost in sight. And then the little ducklings that we rescued, um, they're all about the same size. So that's working out just fine. And so we are, you know, getting baby chicks and baby ducks on a regular basis, which is awesome. Get everybody out there together soon. I've got to get back to working on the chicken coop, but I've been trying to, you know, lay off on that since the mama bird is in there, and with her chicks that are starting to get their fuzzy feathers in. They're naked birds right now. They don't have any feathers on them whatsoever because literally they just hatched probably a day or so ago. But you can see on their skin where the feathers are starting to poke out. So that'll be exciting whenever they get out of there. Then I can take the nest down, block that window, and then do what I need to do. Which is, you know, get everything shored up so I can move the birds in there, move the pigs into their permanent enclosure where the birds are, and go from there. For a hot minute, it's going to be a dirt ground, so that'll be a plus. It'll be easier to rake out and things like that. Um, just because right now we're wanting to put concrete down. Now, concrete does get cold during the wintertime, so there will be a layer on top of that, but concrete is just easier to clean off um, than anything else that we've found so far. We are going to put feed bags down over the top of uh, the brooding section. I've got to build some more levels up so that they can jump up for the roosting bars and all that good stuff. So, still a lot of work that needs to happen on everything, but looking forward to it so that we can get everybody into their permanent locations. Pigs outside permanently. Chickens in their new coop, which they'll be locked in there for a few days. And I think we'll be getting a new door for them as well, because you don't want one big enough that the dogs can get through, but you've got to have it big enough to, you know, get everybody in and out of, if you will. So there is that. All right, folks, we are going to kill it for today. We appreciate everybody being here. Sorry we came on late, but we overslept just a little bit, and we had animals to take care of. The pigos to get fed and all that stuff because they like to wake up about the same time I'm going live, you know. So actually before, but anyway, you all have a great day, and as I like to say as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody. Love you too, man.